Today I will once again go over the Neo Egoist League arc and what has happened so far. Sitting on the shore that he and Sei used to visit, he looks at his phone and sees how much criticism Sei is getting for his last play in the U20 match. Rin then thinks back to that exact moment and says that he definitely had the upper hand there. Rin's offense kept up closely with SES when he obeyed his instincts of wanting to destroy him completely and then managed to stop his last play. However, even though he won, he still don't really understand that new side of him. It felt new but at the same time nostalgic, almost like his veins were dancing. And on top of that, it seemed like Sei knew that part of Rin. Rin starts to wonder if this was his plan all along, and that Sei always wanted him to bring out this ego. However, none of it matters as he only recognized Isagi in the end. Anyone can tell at a glance in that match that Isagi gained everything, while Rin was one step short. As Rin is looking out at the sea, he's determined to change and give it his all to destroy both Isagi and Sei. After that, we get to join the household of the Yoichi family, who is proudly replaying Isagi's interview over and over again as they are getting ready to eat. Isagi's mom asks if life at Blue Lock isn't too difficult for Isagi, and that he's really evolved since joining the program. His dad agrees, and says that even though they don't know a whole lot about football, they are still extremely proud over Isagi. However, if Isagi wins or not isn't their biggest concern, as what makes the two of them glad is seeing Isagi happy. They don't care if he scores or even wins or not, as they will always be there for him, and only wishes him to live his life as he wants to, which makes Isagi extremely happy as he says that from now on, he will become the best in the world. After dinner, he goes upstairs into his room. He thinks, if living the life that you want is what it means to be an egoist, even though Blue Lock helped him become something that he could never imagined, he still had to leave behind plenty of things and people. In Blue Lock, Isagi was able to learn the excitement of victory and the pleasure of scoring, the happiness of changing the world with his own hands. He sits up in his bed and says that he will do whatever to stay in Blue Lock. Just then, he gets a notification from Blue Lock, telling everyone to get back and to let the next act begin. We can also see Gagamaru just chilling in the woods as he gets his invitations, which is just so hilarious. The next day, all of the players arrive and lets the Blue Lock Project Phase 2 start. As they walked into the building, they are greeted by a bunch of players, kind of like how they were greeted in the first selection arc. But this time it isn't just the Blue Lock players, as the former U20 players are here too. Isagi asks Aiku why they are here, and Aiku tells him that Ego asked them too. And I love how the first thing Naru and Bachira do is greet each other. Really happily, it's so cute. After that, Isahi spots Rin against the wall. He goes forward to greet him, and says that it wouldn't be Blue Lock if he wasn't there. However, Rin tells him to stop talking to him, and asks if he wants to get stabbed. However, before they can go any longer, the bowl cut himself pops up on the screen. He says that from now on, he holds the power of deciding every member of Japan's U20 team. And since he figured that even the losers might have their uses, he decided to invite them as well. Ego says that there are 100 days left before the U20 World Cup, and if they were to take part in it now, it would be simply impossible. Even so, it's not lost just yet as he says that. He's come up with a way to allow them all to evolve at a rapid pace. But before that, he has his annual quiz time, and asks them what the cause for their improvement was. Awakening your ego, becoming aware of your innate weapons. The reason all of that happened was without a doubt due to this environment, this special yet cruel enclosed space called Blue Lock, and to be able to rise to greater heights. A new environment will be needed, and that's why Ego has decided to throw them into the hottest hellfire that exists. Because in Blue Lock's Phase 2, they will all be thrown into the peak of the world, which is of course Europe's Big Five leagues' popularity, ability, and money in these European pro football leagues are at the peak of all these things. Among these 5 countries, each of you is going to choose which environment you want to sharpen yourselves in, but before they can start choosing their league, Ego will give his judgment regarding each league, starting with England, a league characterized by speed and physical battles, where goals are stolen by the law of physical prowess. Next up is Spain, a league where technique and creativity are desired. Their citizens won't get satisfied by just seeing goals. It's a place that gathers footballers who want to express creativity and playfulness. After Spain, we have Italy, a league that favors Linus and tactics. They hold history in being able to win 1-2-0 while holding their defense, a play style that fuses individual strength. With robust team organization, was born here. After them comes France, which is a league that acts as a gateway to success for newcomers and young players in recent years. Their market has received a grand lot of investments, so the money flows constantly. They're currently in a great spot, in becoming the greatest league in the world, and to end it all, we have Germany, a league that fundamentally understands that football is a sport, that you win by scoring the most goals. They favor getting to victory, biological and rational means, and on top of that, the player, who currently holds the title of the best striker in the world, and Isagi's idol Noah is here after that, Ego, tells them that the survival battle in the new environment you select will double as the final selection for the U20 World Cup as well, and with such an environment being the highest peak of the world, the one thing that will be the key to winning. Your place among the best will be demonstrated using your uniqueness. Their talents and weapons may have stood out here in Japan, but they will fall to the average level when compared to the world. So what you felt then and what you believe in will serve as a test. And if even then you're still able to show you have value that no one else does, then the world will be waiting for you. This next step they are about to take is a rite of passage to becoming a professional. Therefore, they must accurately visualize what they want to become, and then choose the best environment for themselves for better or worse. This choice is guaranteed to completely derail your life. And then with 90 minutes left, it was time for them to make a choice that will completely change their life. Igarashi has decided that he wants to go to Germany, Otoya is going to Spain, Aru is headed to Italy, and Zantetsu has decided on France. And I really hope that we get to see more from him in this arc, because I feel like he's a really underrated character who deserves more love. Jigiri looks over at Isagi and asks if he's decided. Isagi says that this is also for national teams, so they have to choose a pro league that they want to learn from. But even then, he isn't quite sure. He says that he's been watching a lot of English leagues recently, but as a kid, he always wanted to go to Germany because of Noah. After that, Isagi asks Chigiri if he has decided on a club, and he has decided on England as he wants his own speed to be tested. Ryo overhears them and says that they will be going together, as he also chose England because he's fond of a lot of teams there, and it also smells like money. Isagi turns around and asks Nagi if he's decided, and he says that he wants to go to the league which Bertcom is in. However, Chigiri tells him that he's already retired, but tells Nagi that he played with England, and because of that, he's also ready to choose England. After that, Bachira comes and says that he's chosen Spain. Not to anyone's surprise, however, he says that it doesn't really matter anyway. Isagi is confused and asks what Bathira means. Bathira tells him that he set on becoming the best striker in the world. So no matter what environment he experienced, all that matters is that he gets to wherever the top is. It's not a matter of making the right choice, and instead making a path for himself. Telling Isagi that what he trusts most isn't logic, but his instinct, however. As he leaves, he says that even if they go different paths, it's common courtesy to have evolved by the next time they meet, which is quite sweet anyway. Thanks to Bathira's words, Isagi has chosen to follow his instincts too, and chooses the place which will make his blood boil the most, and that's none other than Germany. After that, the Germany players move in with each other, and we get a look at who chooses to go the German path, and it's the following Igarashi, Yukimiya Hiroi Raichi Gagamaru, Neru Corona Kiora, and of course Isahi. By the way, a hot take, I would love to see more of Kiora, as he seems like such a cool character. So I really hope that they show him off more, and at least something in this arc anyway. The players enters a dark room and sees a hologram of Ego. Ego says that the team that's currently the strongest in Germany is Bastard Munchen, and they will get the opportunity to play with the team's U20 players and train with them. Igarashi is hyped that they will be going to Germany. However, Ego stops him in his tracks and says that the environment of the Big Five European leagues will be recreated right here in Blue Lock, and to serve that purpose, he's invited players their age, who currently plays for the strongest teams in 5 big leagues, from England's Manshine City, Italy Zubers Spain's FC Barcha, France's Paris X-Jam, and Germany's Bastard Munchen. The Blue Lock players' next goal will be to win in this environment, and the one who will be guiding you all won't be Ego himself, but instead the ace strikers who reign over each of these top teams. The Blue Lock players are able to see silhouettes of the players. As Ego introduces the ace of Bastard Munchen and the master striker, Noah, Ego says that thanks to the result of the match with Japan's U20, Blue Lock has gained the attention of the entire world, and this pipe dream of his has caught the attention of greedy sponsors, which has made Phase 2 better than he could have imagined. But all of this isn't just limited to Germany, as a master striker has been gathered in each stratum. After that, he introduces all of the master strikers, starting with England's Chris Prince, who is considered to be a striker on par with Noah. Spain has got Lavinio, the genius dribbler of Spain's league. From Italy, we have Snuffy, who is said to be Uber's secret to success, and not to mention Francis Loki, the #1 supernova, who football fans around the world have their eyes on. They'll each guide their players on their own philosophy, and they will all evolve in that environment, whether they want that or not. So how will this work, you may ask? Well, firstly, you will train under the master, to then possibly be chosen for the regulars, so you really must show your value to be chosen for a team, mixed with the 11 members that were brought from the original team. After that, the 11 chosen will play in matches, where the opponents will be the other teams, and therefore a league will be formed with those 5 teams, and you will have the chance to fight against new players, but also teammates who chose different leagues. In the matches, there are some rules. For example, it's the first 2. 3 goals that win and 2 infinite substitutions exist. And now the most exciting feature of them all is that the masters are allowed to sub in for 3 minutes. Even though this is extremely hype for the players, they can't forget that this is the final selection for the team that's going to the U20 World Cup, and depending on how the matches go after each one of them, the ranks could completely change. Ego says that this is exactly what he's been dreaming of, a fight to create the best striker in the world, calling it a battle for survival in the new generation, and the creation of a football never seen in history before. Isagi is stunned to get the chance to learn from Noah himself, and even playing with him will definitely help him reach new levels. He's now on the path of becoming the best striker in the world. However, before he can calm down, Ego says that he forgot to say something. He says that on Bastard Munchin's team, there's going to be another player who he just had to personally include. All of the Blue Lock players that are already here have taken the proper path. However, Ego also prepared a hidden path for those who were defeated, and forced different philosophies upon them. And he's now chosen to bring back the monster born out of that path. The doors open and he calls out the only survivor of the wild card, and the final dark horse, which is none other than the man himself, Gunagami Rensuke, and with that, Blue Lock Phase 2 can officially begin. As Ego leaves, he says that he leaves everything to Noah, and just then, some sort of door opens up to what looks like a cybernetic world. Noah tells them in Germany to proceed to the goal, and that he will be waiting there. As he leaves them, the Blue Log players quickly understand that they will have to race against the German players. To see who arrives faster, Isagi goes forward to Kunigami and says that he knew that he would come back, and says that it's nice to have the superhero here. However, Kunigami tells him to quit it, and that he doesn't call himself that childish name anymore, as he tells Isagi to get ready, because the one who will be the best in the world will be him. Isagi is shocked to see Kunigami so changed. However, he can't do anything else but to fight. And then the training starts. They start with some running, and Isagi notices that Kunigami is much faster now, and that his physical specs are way higher now. As they come to the second zone, they have to sprint up a very steep road. Isagi is amazed at how the German players can keep up with this, and wonders if they really are the same age as them. Even so, he's determined to not fall behind as he gets through Zone 3 easily. However, in Zone 4, he's facing some problems, as he's having a hard time keeping up, and says that the only one able to keep up is Kunigami. Just then, he sees that someone named Kaiser has already finished. He arrives at the final zone and will do everything to prove his work. He gets behind the hinders easily, and aims at the highest score possible. But just as he shoots, he hears someone speaking in German, saying that he's been waiting to meet Isagi. He shots the ball at Isagi's ball, and no, not DOS balls. Isagi is amazed that he managed to block his shot. But just then, the mysterious man introduces himself as Kaiser, who does the impossible as he tells Blue Lock to kneel for him. Just unfortunate that Isagi didn't understand any of that, as he was speaking in German. Isagi recognizes Kaiser right off the bat as one of the new Gen 11. But just then, someone else comes. He tells Kaiser that they can understand him, and gives the Blue Lock players a special Mictro interpreter, which is a gift that helps them understand each other. After that, when they can understand each other, the guy introduces himself as Alexis Ness, but the Blue Lock players are to focus on their headphones, and notice that they are built by Rio's family. Suddenly, someone else joins in. It's Eric Gesner, who tells Ness to stop being so polite, and that they are only here because they were told that Blue Lock was amazing. After that comes Benedict Grimm, who's acting like he's in a school play. Kind of like, are you actually... After that, Isagi looks away for less than 1 second, but just as he